Hey guys, this is Gary from Demigod's Music Production Hub. I've got some really exciting video tutorials coming up in the next few weeks. I'm going to deconstruct every track on the Discovery album by Daft Punk and see if I can remake the main section using the original samples that they used as well. So starting with number one, track one more time. What I have here is the original on top here. Let's have a quick listen to the intro. Okay, and this is what I came up with. This is my version. So there you go. It's not far away. Obviously, it's impossible to completely reconstruct the samplers they used and the exact moments that they chose to take from the original. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the original track. I'm going to drag it in, and then we're going to try and reconstruct as best we can. Okay, see you in a second. Okay, so here we are. I've dragged in the original track here. It's called More Spell on You by Eddie Johns. I like to use the session view when I'm going through samples. I just find it easier to find the bits that I need just through looping the braces. I've had it on an auto warp setting. Let's loop this brace, and then when we press play on here, it's just going to repeat what's in here, depending where the start point is. So let's drag that here. Now you can hear that the auto warp function has done a pretty good effort of putting it in time. I've gone for 123 beats per minute to match the original One More Time track, that is. Now let's find those really well-known sample sounds. It's quite near the beginning. Okay, that sounds quite like the first note. What it actually is transposed down 2 semitones and also detuned up about 30 cents. So it's a kind of weird tuning. Let's give this a play now. Okay, it's not quite long enough. Let's drag it to make it one full bar. Just trying to find the exact start point. Okay, I'm adamant that's it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take, what we're going to do is we're going to mess with how long that is. Although in terms of our tempo, going from there to there would be one full bar, and therefore half a bar would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start it. We're going to have to mess around with the timing a little bit. If we put the metronome on, so you can hear it's in time, but from the One More Time track we know it's not quite right. But what we're going to do, we're going to take this much, so a little bit more than we need to. I'm going to crop this, right click, crop sample. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this clip, press tab, keeping it held down, and I'm going to drag it into the arrangement window. Press this button here. That allows us to edit and hear it from the session view. Okay, so we've got the Daft Punk song muted at the top. Actually, let's just quickly listen to see how much of it we need. Okay, so all we need is this much. Well, let's quickly listen to what we've got. I'm not convinced that we've got the right start point there, so what I'm going to do is, you see these little transients here, slightly higher bits here and here. I'm going to take that so that it's at the beginning. Now let's listen to it now. And let's get rid of that first bit. Now you can see just from the similarity of the transients alone, this looks much more like that was the part that was used, and to my ear it sounds more accurate as well. Quick, another listen. The original? Yes. Okay, happy with that for now. We know that this part is repeated 3 times before the slightly different sound, so what I'm going to do is duplicate this another 2 times. Let's loop that so far. Well, we'll loop it as if it was 2 full bars and have a quick listen. And then this bit's going to be filled by the other sound that we need. Okay, I'm just going to turn the metronome off. We don't need that now. One more quick listen. Alright, let's go back now. Now, because I cropped this clip, what I'm going to have to do is drag in another version of the original. Bear with me. Okay, so I've dragged in another instance of the original track that we're sampling from. I've gone to roughly the same area because it's in this part of the song that I think these samples were taken. The first thing we need to do is drop it down 2 semitones again to make sure it's in the same tuning as the first one, and up to 30 cents there. And it's these tuning changes that puts it in line with the One More Time song. Right, so let's audition a little bit more here. Whoops, helps if I actually press play in the right place. And we need to get the start point up to our bass. Okay, yeah, so you can hear there's our first bit. Now we're looking for that other famous note. That's coming later, that bit. Here it is. That's what we want. We want that little offbeat kick in front of it. Just check either side. Okay, once again, I'm going to take a little bit more than we need. I'm going to take this extra bit just in case. I've got a feeling it won't be as simple as the first bit. So right click. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to be a bit more savvy this time. What I'm going to do, so I don't have to keep dragging in new instances, I'm just going to duplicate the original once again. And so I've got that for later. That's the full stretched out version and not the cropped bit, which I'm about to make from here. And cropping it just means that when we drop it into the session view, it's only the part that we need, and we're not dealing with the whole sample. So let's crop that. So this number 2, we're now holding down, click and hold, press tab, and now we're going to drop it in. So it's roughly here. Let's re-enable it in session arrangement view, and let's have a quick listen. Okay, so I don't think we need that first bit at all, actually. Let's see what this sounds like. Well, there we go. to me that sounds pretty spot on. And again, if we have a look at the one more time at the top above it here, you can see these transients really do match up pretty closely. Our waveforms are obviously a little bit louder than these ones, but you can see just the little peaks and troughs here, very, very similar from what we've got. And so I'm fairly confident that we've got a very, very close representation. So let's have a quick A and B. This is the Daft Punk. This is ours. And we've got the tuning perfectly as right. I did that in advance. I worked out the tuning. It's very simple. Okay, what we need now is to work out the other parts. So we're going to duplicate our first section. In fact, we're going to do it 3 times in total. This one more time. So we have one more time, pun. Unavoidable pun there. So we've got 3 of that, and then the bit that we need, the ending of the phrase, is this bit. Right. Well, I think that this end is the same. So I'm going to copy that, paste it here. Let me just have a quick listen actually, just to check. Original. Oops, up here. Right, okay, so you can hear that the beginning of it is a little bit different. So what we're going to do is drag that first bit away. Let's just check that these 2 bits are the same. Okay, obviously there's lots of EQing and compression and various things that we need to do to our audio, and we shall get to that. Right, let's now go and find those kind of repetitive sounds. Let's go back to clip view, session view. Let's just rename this number 3. So going down now, we've got nicely in the kind of area that we left it at. Let's just audition. That sounded too good to be true then. That's because my mistake. I keep leaving this bit enabled. I need to stop everything and just solo this and then just play this. That's it, isn't it? I just want to find the kick drum. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think it's a very short bit there. Let me just drag it out a bit. I'm not sure. I really do think it's just this very short bit here. Let's take it. I'm going to risk it. Okay, right click, crop sample. Click and hold. Tab, and let's drag it in here, and let's re-enable these for arrangement view. Okay, now you can see that it doesn't quite, no it does, my mistake, it does, it fits perfectly. Okay, let's duplicate that. Boom. Okay, it would help if I had the right amount of bars looped, wouldn't it? I confused myself there. Let's put this back up here. Okay, now let's listen to the bit that we need. Okay, so we do want to get rid of that bit, and we do want to have the beginning of one of these, first half, let's say, and paste it in the gap. I think that should be right. Perfect, happy with that. Right, we've got all the sections. Let's audition the whole thing together, just on its own. Fantastic. Right, let's move on now and start adding some beats and effects to this to make it as close to the original as possible. Just for tidy's sake, I'm going to create one sample out of all of this lot. Command J with it all highlighted. And just double click on it now, I can turn warp off. And it's just one item there. Let's have a quick listen again. Going to A-B it with the original. Yeah, so the original's really filtered and it's even got a little bit of degradation to the sound. So let's look at how we can imitate that. First of all, we need to take out some of the low end of this one. Interestingly, I'm gonna bring in some more low end from another version of it in a minute. I'll get to that. Starting with EQ8, so let's drop that on, and first I'm just going to do a big low cut. Let's have a quick listen. Still wanted a bit of the bass. Okay, for now, what we're going to do now is find the redux. This is what we want next. Now, what we're going to do, just so that we can make the down samples not as blatant, we're going to turn this to soft, and we're just going to slowly edge this up. Well, let's hear it. And you can hear it really start to scrape the sound up. Let's listen to the original. Fantastic. So we've got the low end cut out there, and we've got some nice degradation of the sound using this downsample feature of the Redux. That's a great little plugin. It really helps to mimic the sound of the old samplers that were used with their natural hiss and warmth. You can hear in the original that you can hear some beats and also some low end. Let's have a quick listen again. So you can hear the beat, you can hear the bass. Interestingly, if I was to leave all of the low end from the EQ8 in, it just doesn't sound quite right. It sounds too beefy. So what I'm going to do is duplicate this track actually. I'm going to turn the volumes of both of them down, otherwise it's going to be a bit overkill now. Let's say down to 7 dB down. So let these just check it's not too loud. No, okay, it's a good volume level. All right, so with this second one, I want to basically reverse what I've done here. So I'm going to undo, take that one off. And all we need, let me just take these off, just for cleanliness sake, and we're going to take the high cut and we're going to drag it all the way down. Let's just solo this on its own. There's a little bit more middle actually on the original. Let's go back to this. So I'm just going to bump up some middle here. Okay, have it with our low. Back to the original. It's pretty close. What you can hear is this general air and presence to the original that we simply cannot mimic outside of a mastering studio. So we can get it as pretty close as possible, really. Right, let's add in some drums. Really simply, I'm going to Command-Shift-T for a MIDI track. I'm going to drag, oh actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to search for 909 and click on drums, and this is just a native drum kit within Ableton. We're going to drag that in, and what we're going to do is create a MIDI region. So I'm just going to Command-Shift-M with that area highlighted. This is a really good little core kit actually. Going in, let's make this a bit bigger so we can see what we're doing. It's a really simple pattern. Obviously we've got 4 on the floor, kick, let's put it in, duplicate that all the way through. We're going to highlight them all, and then we're going to turn the velocity up for full on that. We want the kick to come through a little bit more than everything else. We're going to put a clap on every other beat, highlight that area, and then duplicate once again all throughout the region. And now we want to do the hats. It's got quite a good little shuffle feel. Let me remind myself of it. Okay, what I need to do is just zoom in. Actually, for now, what I want to do is just highlight one of these and zoom right in, and then I can duplicate what I do all the way across. It's solo owl drums for now. It's literally going to be as simple as that. Just copying that all the way across the whole region. Okay, let's just give a little audition with our tune. Okay, I'm going to open up the chain list for the drum kit so that I can adjust some levels here. Just want the hats a little bit down. Okay, it's really starting to sound like it now. Again, we want a real high cut on the drums. So let's find EQ8 again. And I'm going to drag this all the way down. Let's just solo it for now on its own. Bump up on the kick. Still want a little bit of those hats in there. Okay. Let's go. Let's hear the original again. Yeah, not bad. Alright, next thing I want to do is make a little sidechain kick so that we can make our audio samples pump a little bit along to the kick. So what I'm going to do is duplicate the drum kit that we just made, double click on the region. I'm just going to delete everything apart from the kick. And then what we're going to do is put a compressor onto the first audio track. I'm going to open that up, enable sidechain. I'm going to turn the ratio up quite high. The attack also quite high. Now normally, probably on a sidechain compression, I wouldn't have the attack so late, because generally we want the pump to happen. But although the pump does happen on this track, it happens a lot more later on in the track when the filters have gone away and it's just an open, hard fall to the floor beat. So I'm just going to reduce that for now, so that we do have a pump, but it's quite soft. And what we need to do is to have the audio from second drum kit. Let's rename this Sidekick so that we know it's all clean and tidy. So we've got the compressor there. Audio from the Sidekick, that's it. Let's make, actually one extra thing got to remember to do is to mute the audio from the Sidekick. We don't actually want to hear it, we just want to use it to operate the compressor, to enable the compressor. Okay, let's audition this. Now you can see the kick creating a pump here. There we go, there's a bit of a pump, not too expressive. If I'd had the attack lower, hear what happens. You can see it's a lot sharper. The threshold is opening and closing a lot quicker. It's opening a lot quicker. Here we just allow the peaks to come through a little bit more. If we just turn that off and on. So we've got a little bit of a pump and it's going to help. We're actually going to copy this and paste it onto our low end part of the sample. There we go, so that should be exactly the same. Now let's audition the whole thing. Let's hear the original again. Okay, so our drums are way too bassy. What I'm going to do now is just continually go between the two and make little changes to each part, just to get it as close as possible to the original. When you can see these ones highlighted, this is our sound that we've created. And when you can see this solo, this is Daft Punk. We need some brightness on our sample. I'll put some reverb on. I've just sent this to some small room reverb that I created down here. Just gives it a little bit more presence. Our beats are bumping too much. It's almost like I'm trying to make the rest of the track here. We want them there, but we don't want them to be too overpowering. I actually think the compressor might be pumping a little too much. Better. There we go. There we have it. One more time. Reconstructed, deconstructed and reconstructed all in one go. I hope you enjoyed that. Please subscribe. I aim to do a video every single week. I hope you're enjoying them. Please leave a comment. Please give me a thumbs up if you like it. And I look forward to doing the next one. See you soon. Cheers.